welcome to the Fables Knitting Podcast. My name is Faith and I'm a knitter living here in Kansas, and this is my space where I talk all about my knitting. Today I have another traditional podcast for you. I have 2 finished objects, 3 whips to share, and some acquisitions that I'll also be including at the end. You can find me on Instagram as the.redhead.knits, and I'm on Ravelry as Knits by Faith. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel here, so you're welcome to subscribe and stick around. Today, I am wearing my champagne cardigan by Petite Knit. I finished this a couple of months ago. The yarn I used is Blue Sky Fibers Woolstack Worsted in the color Wild Thyme, which is this really pretty green color. I love the Blue Sky Fibers Woolstack Worsted yarn. I know they have other bases of yarn, but the Woolstack is just one of my favorites. But yeah, the yarn is really soft. It can be a little bit itchy, especially on my neck. But I think it's a really good yarn. It wears really well. It is pilling a little bit, but it's not bothering me. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. So I'll just start by talking about my first finished project, which is my Halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And it is finished, as you can see, and it is a huge sweater. So I'll be putting some extra information on the side. I'll be including when I started it, when I finished it, how much yarn I used, what kind of yarn I used, how much it all cost, and everything. So yeah, this is the Halibut by Caitlin Hunter. It's been pretty popular this year. At least I've been noticing in the everyone's been knitting it in the fall, and I think it's a really good, cozy looking sweater. So I used Drops Karisma in the color beige brown and light beige. This is my first time using Drops Karisma and I really like it. It's kind of a textured, dry feeling wool, but it really softens up a lot when you block it. And I haven't worn this because I've been wanting to keep it nice for the podcast, so I can't really discuss more on how it feels when you wear it. But overall, knitting with it is really great. So I believe I knit the 3rd size. I went up to a 4.5 millimeter needle because I am a tighter knitter, and I find that if I go up a half a needle size or even a full needle size up, I can get gauge. So I didn't know how deep the yoke was going to be. So I typically prefer longer sweaters. I don't like cropped, oversized sweaters that much. So I knit to probably 12 inches of stockinette measured under the arm, and then did probably 2 inches of ribbing. So this sweater goes to like mid-thigh on me, and I'm pretty tall, so this is a very long sweater. And I also changed the rate of decreases. I don't remember exactly what I did, but they're not as rapid as what's written in the pattern because I didn't want a tight sleeve. So yeah, but no, this is a very, very big sweater. When I did try it on, when I was done blocking it, I did notice some issues with the fit, and I know since this is like a really like deep yoke, there are going to be some issues with it. I've noticed that when I raise my arms up, the whole sweater just kind of bulks up around my neck and just rides up like crazy. It feels a little bit difficult to like move around in because you have all that fabric at the underarm. But those issues aren't going to stop me from wearing it. I probably won't wear it out and like actively do things in this sweater because of just the way that the fabric moves around whenever I move my arms, I wouldn't want to be, I feel like I would just be adjusting a lot. So I think this might just be a little at-home sweater, especially since it is very long and oversized. But overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. This was one of my dream knits for this year, and I'm happy that it's done. I think the color work looks really good. It took a long time for me to be finished with the color work because obviously as you increase, there's just more and more stitches on the needles. And it's a really big motif too, so it just took a while. But once I got that done, it was just, the body and the sleeves just flew by. So yeah, I would highly recommend this pattern. Just keep in mind the yoke depth. Right when I was done with the yoke, I split for sleeves because I didn't want any extra fabric and I would just want it to be done and split for sleeves. So I would just keep, I'm sorry if you can hear Terry. So I would just keep those things in mind if you were going to knit the sweater. My second finished object is a pair of socks. These are just a 3x1 ribbed sock. I didn't follow a pattern for it. I just cast on 64 stitches, did a 3x1 rib. I believe I did 50 rows, and then I just did a slip stitch, heel, and gusset, and did the toe. I've talked about my sock recipe a lot here, and since I have been finishing a lot of socks, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. The yarn I used is a sock set from Birch Grove. The main color is amethyst, and then the green is called peridot. I think this is a very gorgeous yarn, and I think the colors go very good together. I love Birch Grove's yarn. I have a decent amount of her sock sets that I can't wait to use. Yeah, she just has gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. I'm sorry, but Terry just decided to get the zoomies as I started filming, so I'm sorry if you can hear her in the background. So let's just get into whips. The first one that I have is my Stages Pullover by Tressa Weidenar, and it's a colorwork yoke sweater. Here, let me get my hanger. It's a colorwork yoke sweater, as you can see, and I finished the sleeve since I last podcasted, and I'm still on the body ribbing. I think I have one more row left, and then I'll just bind off, and then all I'll have to do is just the second sleeve. But yeah, I'm really excited for this to be finished. I can't wait to wear it. My boyfriend bought me this yarn for my birthday, and he really likes this sweater too, and he can't wait for it to be finished. So hopefully I can get this done in the next couple of days. I've mostly been working on gift knits every other day, so that's why I don't have many whips to share with you. But I've been taking this to work. And getting some rows done on it. So yeah, I can't wait for this to be finished. Okay, my next whip is my Fina sweater by Irene Lynn. And I finally split for sleeves on it so I can show you this better. This is what it's looking like. I have gotten a couple inches done under the arm, and I finished the skein, so I just decided to pick up a sleeve. But this sweater has been really fun to work on. I do the cables without a cable needle, so it kind of goes by pretty fast. And now that I'm done with the yoke, it's been going by faster and it's not taking so long. But yeah, I haven't gotten too much done for the sleeve, just a couple of rows. But no, I'm really enjoying this sweater. I love this neck detail. And now that now that the yoke is done, you can kind of see what the neck will be looking like. It's just this split collar, and I think it's really cute. The yarn I'm using is Drops Air in the color Sage, and I think this will look really good on me, so I can't wait for it to be done. But yeah, I feel like this will be a fun piece for my wardrobe. I don't really have a lot of cabled sweaters. I think the only other cabled sweater I have is my waffle loop sweater. So this will be fun to have, and I think the texture is just so engaging and adds it just adds a lot of like visual detail to the sweater, so I think it'll be really nice to have and to wear. So yeah. My next project is actually something that I'm working on today. It's my zipper sweater by Petite Knit, and I've just now actually finished the sleeve, and I'll be going back to the body and hopefully getting to the body ribbing today. I have about 4 more inches on the body that I would like to do before I start the ribbing. I'm doing about 24 rounds of ribbing just so I can match the collar. So yeah. I only have 3 more skeins left of yarn, and this is how much I have left after doing one sleeve. So I'll obviously use the rest of this for the body, and I'll probably have to use about another half skein of it. And I'll have enough yarn, but just when I went to go get another ball of yarn out of my stash, I noticed that there were only 3 left, so I was kind of worried that maybe I'd be cutting it a bit close on the sweater, but I think I'll be fine. After the sleeve, the only thing that I have left to do is the facing on the inside for the collar, so I'll be fine. I do need to pick up some green thread so that I can sew in the zipper, because I would like this to be done in December, but with us traveling, I don't think I'll be able to bring this just because I don't want to have to worry about sewing in the zipper when I'm not at home, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, I need to pick up some thread, but I'm not scared to sew in the zipper. I think I've said this before. A lot of people have said that it does seem really intimidating, but it's really easy. So I'm not worried. I think I will block it first before I do add the zipper, just so the fabric can relax. But I'm also wondering if maybe I should just sew in the zipper so that way if it's a little tight in some places, I can just block it out. I don't know. I don't know what I'll end up doing. But yeah, the yarn I'm using is Brown Sheep Lamb's Pride. I believe it's a worsted weight yarn. It's a single ply. And it's really hairy too, because I believe it's 90% wool, 10% mohair. So this will be like a perfect outer layer. I don't think I'll be wearing this as a sweater. I think this definitely will be good for outside. So yes, this is what I'm working on today, and hopefully I'll have more to share in my next podcast. My next whip is just a pair of socks. I'm using the Patons Kroy socks in the color Clover colors, and this is what it's looking like. I'm on the heel right now, so it kind of looks funny. I'm not sure how many rows I did of the 1x1 rib, but I did knit 70 rounds for the leg. And I'm not loving this yarn. I don't like the way it looks. I was expecting more color changes, but looking at the skein, I think that's about it. That's what the yarn is. I don't know. I don't think I like it. Especially after after these socks where there was a lot of color changes and a lot of exciting parts, working on this just doesn't feel fun as much. And I think I'm getting a little burnt out on my socks. I finished a lot of pairs of socks because I've just been taking them to work and flying through them. So yeah. I still love knitting socks. I will always have a sock project on the needles, but I don't think I like the yarn. But these will be a really good warm pair of socks since they are going to be so long. These ones are almost like shorties on me. I think my legs have gotten a little bit bigger. So I think I need to go up a stitch I think I need to add some stitches when I cast on my socks because the 64 stitch circumference isn't working for me anymore. But no, I think these will just take a little bit longer for me to finish, but that's okay. So that is all my whips. I do have 2 yarn acquisitions. There's a dyer that is in Denver, Colorado. Her business name is Poppy and Spruce Fibers, and I've loved her yarn, but I've never bought any. And she recently had a collection called the Nostalgia Collection, and it was really fun because you could submit a picture, and she would like a picture with like a story to it, and she would make a yarn out of it. So I submitted a picture. I'll put it here. And it was from when I was living in Rawlins in Wyoming, and she actually chose it and she made some yarn out of it, and I think it's really pretty. So there's this joke that my boyfriend and I have, and it's a really long story, but we always say back in Rawlins, and it's just funny. It's just funny. So I named the yarn Back in Rawlins, and my boyfriend is obsessed with it. He thinks it's awesome and funny. But this is the yarn that she made from the picture, and it is so pretty. I think I've been loving more like pastels and light colors because I think that they look really good on me. Especially this like sky blue that's in here, I think would look really good with me. But anyway, it's just this really pretty yellow and pink and blue with like these brown and green speckles in it, and it's just so pretty. So yeah, this is her birch fingering, which is an 80/20, and it's 436 yards for 100 grams. I got 2 of them. I really wanted to make a birds of a feather shawl. I already have made one, but I want another one because the one that I previously made is kind of like a neutral kind of theme, but I wanted one with more bright colors. So in my last shawl that I knit, I used one in like a small amount of, I used one skein in a small amount of the second skein that I have, or that I had of the yarn. So I got 2, and then I got the 1 skein of mohair that I would need for it. And I think it looks so pretty in the mohair base. It's gorgeous. This is her dandelion mohair. It's 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, 459 yards for 50 grams. So yeah, I didn't want to splurge on a garment quantity or anything like that. I really just wanted another birds of a feather shawl because I use mine so much and I love it. So birds of a feather shawl, and then with the leftovers that I have from it, I'll do a pair of socks. So a pair of socks or a hat, I'm not sure. I think I'll do socks, just because this is so pretty. But yeah, so that's the first thing that I got from that collection. I really like Poppy and Spruce Fibers because she always has a build your own sock set option. So she'll have all of the colors for the collection, and you can just mix and match whatever you want. So there was another color called A Rocky Place, and which is this neutral like beige, like really like gray beige with these green and blue speckles in it, and it's just really pretty. And then I thought that this tonal called A Forest Stroll would look really good with it, so I was like, I kind of want a sock set out of it. So those were what I chose, and I can't wait to make socks out of this. So this is her spruce sock set, which is a 4-ply, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's 550 yards for 100 grams. And yeah, I just love this so much. It's so pretty. And also, I never knew this, but with an 80-20, or I guess an 80-20 is thicker than a, because normally most 80-20s are 2-plies, and most 75-25 bases are 4-plies. I guess this is probably obvious. It feels obvious to me now, but a 2-ply is thicker than a 4-ply. I don't know why it took me that long to just know that, but I've been adding a lot of things to my Ravelry queue, and I was looking for a fingering weight yarn, but none of my 75-25 yarns were showing up. And then I clicked on them and it showed it as a light fingering, whereas this is a fingering. I don't know. You learn something new every day, I guess. But anyways, yeah, that's the yarn I got from Poppy and Spruce Fibers, and I can't wait to use it because it is so pretty. And I love her labels too. Her label's so cute. And she's on Instagram as well, so definitely go follow her. She's I've never seen another podcaster talk about her. She doesn't have a huge following on Instagram, so I was really happy to support her and her business, just because mostly this yarn is so special to me, and she's also just so talented with her dyeing too. So that is all of the knitting that I have to talk about, so thank you so much for watching. My next video will probably be in January, and it will, yeah, my next video will be in January, and it will be a 2024 knitting recap, so everything I knit kind of situation. I love those videos so much, so I can't wait to see everyone's knitting recaps of 2024. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed, and let me know what you guys were working on, and I'll see you next time.